Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another adventure story. I think this is going to be quite interesting because I think there's a lot of tension here and there's a lot of curiosity. I'd like you to actually pay attention, take the vocabulary and also the pronunciation as well, so that like enjoy the episodes and enjoy the story. And I do believe that there's a lot of things to take away, and there's a lot of vocabulary, pronunciation as well. And yeah, just follow along and watch the video till the end. So let's get started, shall we? Now, the phone call at 2:14 a.m. So now 2:14 a.m. that is actually 2 a.m. basically in the morning. So it was 2:14 in the morning when the phone rang. Detective Harris was already awake. He didn't sleep much anymore, not since the case 3 years ago. He sat in the dark, the glow of the desk lamp, the only light in the room, surrounded by the old files he had already read too many times. The phone, the phone rang again. He picked it up on the second ring. There was no greeting, only breathing, slow, calm, intentional. Then voice spoke. "You don't know me," it said, "but you will." Harris didn't answer. He had learned long ago that silence often makes people talk more. But this time, the caller didn't continue. Instead, the line went dead. For a moment, there was nothing but static. Then a message arrived, and no number, no name, just an address. Harris started at it. He should have ignored it. He knew that, but something about the timing felt deliberate. 2:14 a.m. The same time the victim in the Orr case was last seen alive. He stood up, grabbed his coat and left. 27 minutes later, he was in his car driving through the empty streets. The city looked different at night, less alive, more honest. Street lights flickered as he passed like broken signals, trying to communicate something he couldn't understand. The address led him to the edge of the city, an area scheduled for demolition. Buildings half standing, windows like empty eyes, and the center of it's all one structure that had been forgotten or left no purpose. He parked the car, sit there for a moment, listening. Nothing, no movement, no sound, just silence that felt too controlled to be natural. Then he got out. The front door was already open. That should have been the first warning. Inside, the air was colder. Dust floated in the beam of his torch as he moved carefully through the corridor. Every step echoed. Every sound felt amplified, like the building was listening. One on the wall faded, photographic, hung crookedly. Some had faces scratched out, others had dates written underneath them. Harris sobbed. One of the dates matches the night of the old case. His jaw tightened. He kept moving. At the end of the corridor, there was a staircase upstairs. The message hadn't said where inside the building, just the address. He climbed slowly, step by step. The route creaked under his weight. Halfway up, he stopped because he heard something. A faint sound, a phone vibrating. No, not loud, but close, very close. He continued upwards. The vibration stopped. Silence returned. At the top of the stairs was a long hallway, 3 doors, all slightly open. One of them had a light come from inside. A warm, soft light. He approached it. Echo's step felt heavier than the last. His hand touched the door. He pushed. Inside the room was almost empty. Almost. A single chair stood in the center. On it, the mobile phone is still ringing. Harris walked closer. The screen lit up. Unknown number. He answered. Nothing, then whisper. You always come. Harris froze. Who are you? He said again. This time, the voice didn't disappear. It's not about who I am. It replied. It's about what you did. The phone clicked and recording began. His own voice filled the room, clear, precise. It was from 3 years ago, the night of the original investigation. He was speaking to another officer, discussing evidence, discussing time of death, discussing something that had never been released to the public. Harris stepped back. No, he whispered. The recording continued, but then changed. Another voice entered. The audio. The voice that wasn't supposed to exist in any file. Witness statement that had been removed, officially deleted. Harris felt his breath tightened. Because he remembered that voice. It belonged to the only suspect who had confessed and then disappeared before trial. A man whose body had been found weeks later, or the report said. The lights flicked once, twice. The door behind him closed, not slammed, not forced, just gently shut, like someone finishing a conversation. Harris turned quickly. The handle wouldn't move. Locked. From the outside, the phone on the chair stopped ringing. Silence again. Then the screen lit up. One final time, message appeared. You reopened it. Harris felt chill crawl through his body. He wasn't sure what it meant. The case, the investigation, or something else entirely. Then he noticed something on the wall. New photograph. It hadn't been there before. He was certain of it. In the photo, the same room, but not empty. Someone was standing behind him, close. Too close. Harris turned slowly. The room was empty, but the air wasn't. It felt occupied. The phone vibrated one last time. The final message arrived. Now finish it. And the lights went out. And I think that's at the end of the story, guys. I think it's a very exciting story. I think it's about a crime, basically. And I think these are the vocabulary from the phone call about 2:14 a.m. Now we have got the first vocab. We have got detective. The meaning of detective is basically detective is a police officer who investigates crimes. Example, the detective arrived at the scene late at night. Instinct, we have got instinct is a natural feeling that tells you what to do. Example, his instinct told him something was wrong. Abandoned, left empty or no longer used. Example, the building was abandoned. Suspicious. Suspicious is basically making you feel something is wrong or dangerous. The situation felt suspicious. Address. Address, the location of the building, or place. He received an unknown address. Backup. Extra help, usually from a police or support teams. He didn't call for backup. Corridor. A corridor is basically a long, narrow passage inside the building. He walked down the dark corridor. Dust. A dust is basically a tiny, dirty or dry particles found on all surfaces. Dust floated in the air. Torch. A torch is a small portable light, flashlight. He used a torch to see in the dark. Echo. An echo, a sound that repeats in space. Example, his footsteps echoes in the hallway. Evidence. Evidence, information, or object that help prove something. The detective studied the evidence. Investigation. The process of examining a crime or problem. The investigation was reopened. Witness. Witness is the person who sees an event happen. The witness gave a statement. Suspect. Person. A person believed to be involved in a crime. The suspect disappeared. Confess. To admit that you did something wrong. He confessed to the crime. Delete it. To remove or erase completely. The file was deleted from the system. Officially, in a formal or authorized way, the case was officially closed. Flicker. A flicker. Flicker is basically to shine with an LCD light. The light flicked suddenly. Spine. A spine is the line of bones down your back. He felt a chill down his spine. Handle. Handle, the part of the door used to open it. Message. Message is the information sent to someone. He received the final message. Chilling. Chilling, making you feel frightened or uneasy. The situation was chilling. Investigation reopened. A closed case is open again for a new review. Example, the investigation reopened after a new evidence. Silence. A silence is basically complete absence of sound. The silence felt heavy and unnatural. Realize. Realize is suddenly to understand something. Example, he realized he was part of the case. Now, these are the expressions, useful expressions that are taken from this story as well. Please make sure that you pay attention to to these expressions. Is going to help you as well. Now, something doesn't add up. If something doesn't add up, that means something feels wrong or it doesn't make any sense. That doesn't add up, right? So the detective felt something didn't add up. Against instinct. Against instinct, meaning that doing something even though you feel it's wrong. He went inside against his instinct. Cold silence. A cold silence, a silence that feels uncomfortable or is scary. The room fell into the cold silence. Now we have got piece together. Okay, piece together. That means to gradually understand something by collecting information. So he tried to piece together the truth. Well, get the bottom of it. To get the bottom of it is to discover the real truth about something. Well, now detective wanted to get the bottom of it, of the case. Now, guys, this is the story, the end of it, the end of the vocabulary expressions as well. And please, if you found it useful, you like what you saw today, and it does resonate with you, please do let me know in the comment section below. And if you have got any recommendations about this story and you'd like me to cover maybe your favorite story, a certain story, let me know in the comment section below. That will be really, really helpful. And yeah, guys, until then, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.